So as always, start out with a base coat and apply this to all your nails. So I decided to go with a light nude beige color for more of a vintage look, and I'm going to apply 2 coats to all my nails. So for this look, I am going to use acrylic paint to achieve the details in the roses and leaves, and I'm going to use a light pink, a cobbler red, white, an olive green, and a darker green. And just to clarify, you are more than welcome to use nail polish, but if you want to use acrylic paint, I got these at Michael's for 69 cents a bottle. So for this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to use a paintbrush, a dotting tool, and a paper clip to achieve the same result. So I don't want you guys to get hung up on the tools. You can achieve this with just about anything. A pin or a toothpick will work just fine as well. So starting off with my paintbrush and the light pink color, I'm going to evenly spread apart little fluffy cotton ball shaped globs onto my nails, and I'm not really giving it much thought. I'm just making sure that I liked how far apart I spaced them out, and then I'm going back in with my red color and just speckling on top of the light pink. And now I'm just adding on another small rose to the corner of my middle finger because I thought it looked kind of empty. And here I'm just going to go back with some light pink paint and go on top of all the roses. And the entire time I'm really just going to go back and forth between the light pink, the red, and eventually I'm going to add white into the mix. There is no really, rule or like strict technique for this look. It's all about personal preference and just kind of playing around with it. Honestly, I think it looks good no matter what, and that's what I really like about floral design, is that the more like sporadic and spontaneous it is, I think the better it ends up looking. So there's a lot of room for error in this design, and I think the more imperfect the flowers look, the better and more realistic they come out looking. Another thing that I feel I should mention is I'm not really waiting for the paint to dry. In fact, I realized later in the design that I actually liked how it looked when you start just globbing on top of the wet paint instead of waiting for them to dry. It looks a lot prettier. So now I'm going in with the light green for my leaves, and I'm just going to be kind of drawing like wings on the sides of all the roses, and I'm going to make them kind of in a V shape. Instead of just adding leaves to some of the roses, I also added leaves and a stem just to make it look a little bit more different. And just like I did with the roses, I'm just going to go back and forth between the light green, the dark green, and the white paint. I just think it looks more realistic this way and it adds more detail. So just go back and forth until you are satisfied with the results. I don't know about you guys, but I really like how the white paint adds like a sort of highlight to all the roses and the leaves. But I think sometimes I go a little bit too crazy with the white paint, so I think it looks a lot better once you tone it down by adding some more green on top of it. And like I said before, I'm just gonna go back and forth until I like how it looks. So just keep playing around with it. I actually practiced a little bit on the index card just to see how I like it more before. I really should write a script. I'm sorry about this, guys. I'm just rambling now. So now I'm just going to bend apart a paper clip and use this as a dotting tool. And I'm also going to be using the dotting tool as well, just to show you how you can get the same results, and it doesn't matter what you use. So here I'm going with the light pink, and then just like I did with the roses, I'm going to add the red, and then I'm going to go back and forth between the light pink, the red, and the white. It's the same technique, guys, it's just a different tool. And just to prove to you that a simple paper clip is no different than a dotting tool, I'm going to use the dotting tool to draw on the leaves, and I'm going to go back and forth between the light green, the dark green, and the white. The only difference between a dotting tool, a toothpick, and a paper clip is a dotting tool just has a really long handle. so that you can have a better grip on your tool. But after that, the results are exactly the same. So don't get hung up on the fact that you don't have the same tools as I do. Really, it just comes down to how you use it. And now I'm going to finish off the look with a quick dry top coat, and if you want to make it look more vintage, then go with a matte coat. I decided to go with a top coat just because I wanted my nails to last longer. I hope you guys really like this look. I have been wanting to do a floral design nail tutorial for a very long time now, so I'm glad I finally got around to doing it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks guys!